Just double check. Yeah,
Okay. So
it's
hello,
going.
I'm Tylene. It's my amazing husband,
Oh,
Sean.
we're
Yeah, switching it up.
switching it up. Right on. Okay, that's good.
And we are very excited to talk to you. Our brains are like on overload because we just got back from a massive peptide conference that was a lot of information, a lot of doctors speaking on stage, and a lot of content. I was taking notes like a crazy lady. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about that tonight as well. But Sean has
Yeah,
some
just
updates
uh,
with Culture for Good and everything.
that was
So
definitely just an amazing time. There were a couple thousand people there, mostly practitioners, mostly doctors, some people from the fitness environment. But it was really fascinating to, we want to learn the other side of the peptide world, right? You guys know we do our peptide thing differently, right? With our drops and with our salmon drops. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that and what's going on with Origin and TriGLP and all that good stuff. But this was more of the other side of the world with injections primarily. And yeah, there's topicals and there's pills and there's different things, but it was really a really good learning 2 days of packed information about what people should know and be doing to make their peptides work better. And what was super cool was what we do from gut health to some of these other things. Um, our products that we have been doing forever support that big time. And so now we've been looking at the testing and all these different things that we can be doing because we want people to have the most amazing results they can get with whatever they're doing, whether it's our salmon drops or if they're using some type of injection, right, for some other health
yeah,
reason or
definitely
whatever.
what we learned is peptides are pretty revolutionary, even though I've been teaching about them forever and ever because they're just small chains of amino acids that do specific things. They're signaling molecules. And so one of the things that I took home was if your cell isn't happy, so if you're not happy at the cellular level in general, which is what I always teach with enzymes. So if your cell isn't happy and your mitochondria, and they're not receptive to getting a signal, then it's like having a phone. We'll go back to the old school phones where there was actually a cord. And it would be like you're picking up one end of the phone and then I'm over here trying to call, but there's no cord in the middle to like get that signal across. So you have part of the puzzle, kind of like having a car with no wheels or something. And you're putting fuel in it, but it's not going anywhere. So a lot of people are running and trying to do different peptides, the injections and everything, and they may not be getting the results that their friends are getting, or even taking certain things, supplements even, and they're not getting the same results as their friends. And it all goes back to the cellular level and making sure the cell has everything it needs, the basic foundations, which I'll talk about in a minute, of what the cell needs in order for it to function correctly with based on what you're giving it. So you can't make it have a signal and push it to do something if it's already broken. So we really want to concentrate tonight on fixing your cells and mitochondria. So whatever you're doing, you're going to get the maximum amount from that thing that you're doing.
Yeah, we kind of knew some of this because we had already been testing with people who've been using our salmon peptides, not even the injections, for quite some time, and we did a lot of testing. So over the past whatever year and a half, and we noticed that the people who are getting, I don't know, a lot of results with that, they're getting them in a variety of ways, right? It's not just fat loss or whatever, but we definitely know, having listened to these couple thousand doctors
Yeah.
and experts and scientists and blah 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 for 2 days straight, she geeks out on it. There are parts of it
He zoned out on
I geeked
it.
out and parts I zoned out. It was pretty deep, man. It's some deep stuff, but it really works better. And so you're going to hear more and more about peptides
Yes.
all over the place. They're saying now it'll be a $200 billion industry as it continues to grow. And pretty much everywhere you go now, you will just be hearing conversations about about peptides. And so we want to make sure everyone understands the other side in order to get the most out of your peptides. Like I said, whether it's the salmon drops or if it's an injection of some sort, because there's a lot of, the fitness industry, the workout folks, they've been doing it a long time. The NFL, the professional athletes, they've been doing things a long time, but now there's just so many peptides. There's so much misinformation. There's research only peptides, and then there's the pharmacy type compound pharmacy peptides with the doctor sign off, blah blah blah, all this kind of information. And what people don't realize in the United States is almost all of it comes out of China. Okay, there's actually 3 USA manufacturing facilities. That's it. And most people think that there aren't even 3 yet, but there actually are. And it's just a very confusing place. So
it's even confusing for the doctors. I would say a lot of them that were on stage and speaking, some of them would kind of contradict each other. Some of them are big fans of using multiple peptides for healing in an area. Other ones are like, no, don't stack them. You're sending confusing messages and signaling to the body. So it's still kind of the wild, wild west. The good thing is that they are looking into it, and it is saving people from doing crazy surgeries where if somebody couldn't even use their shoulder or their knees, or they were in a car accident, and sometimes these injections in the injury site is really creating incredible healing. But I want to help you be able to maximize if you're doing something like that, or maybe never even needing a peptide because we get your cells working correctly and signaling on their own, or we create peptides from some of the secrets that I've already known, and you don't even need to ever do a needle. So that's what I'm here for.
so let's dive into that, and I'll wrap up after we kind of talk about this information, product wise, etc. Whatever you want to share. Then I'll come back around and kind of give you some updates of what's going on, what we're doing, because we have plenty of updates.
We have lots of updates.
Where you want to start?
Definitely, you guys have probably seen flyers, and I don't even know if flyers is a real thing anymore, but I call them flyers. But you've seen social media of flyers with our products that are like microbiome and then biome balance. And I know there's confusion. So first of all, I want to start by saying, I need you to understand how your gut works in general. So you have so much space in your intestinal tract, and it has all these little homes that need to be lived in by friendly bacteria. There's even some bad bacteria, which actually is okay as long as there isn't an overgrowth. There needs to be this wonderful balance. And there's hundreds of probiotics, things that are good for life, for life. So probiotics, antibiotics kills everything in your intestinal tract. And then it takes almost 2 years to rebuild. So I hope if you've been on any antibiotics for a tooth infection or maybe some surgeries or anything like that, that you really listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you as far as repopulating your intestinal tract. It is your first line of defense for everything. Your immune system, 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. Some doctors will even say more. And these 2 products I was mentioning, just so you kind of get familiar, they're really going to support that activity. If you've been on an antibiotic, you want to grab this one, microbiome, because it is a blend of different probiotics that will support the immune system and rebuild the intestinal tract. If after you've already done that, then you want to go, this is more of like the lactobacillus, things that you'd be familiar with. You might find it in kimchi, you might find it in yogurt. These are different probiotics that your gut is already somewhat familiar with. And then there are some strains in there that your gut may not be quite familiar with, but it needs. And you might be deficient in those specific strains because of your diet and things you've been doing, or if you're stressed. Stress kills a lot of your good friendly bacteria. And then this one, you can take really when you want that powerful immune boost. If you're traveling, You can take a maintenance supply of it. Am I over your head?
No, I want them to see it.
Oh, was I not close enough?
No.
I thought I was blocking you. So this is more of your,
What's the name of it?
so I definitely need my glasses because everything's so small. But this is biome balance. And then the bacillus family that's in here. So it's Bacillus coagulans, Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus clausii. They're specific ones. The other thing that's in here is FOS. FOS you get if you eat onions, bananas, garlic, but odds are you're not eating like the peel part of it and where the FOS lives, which is just fructooligosaccharide. The reason that's important is that feeds them. That is your prebiotic. So let me step back a minute. There are probiotics, friendly living bacteria. That's what people start making sourdough bread with. That's what there is in kimchi. It's like a living thing that's in food or found on food. Then there are what do they eat? So they eat, which is called prebiotics, but they eat food. And so FOS is a food that they would eat. And also in the other one, let me tell you how much. Let me see what's in here. So the Jerusalem artichoke portion of this is the microbiome one. The Jerusalem artichoke portion is going to be the food in this one. So we made sure that they have food and because a lot of times we don't eat the foods that we should, and we feed the bad bacteria and not the good bacteria. So a lot of times when you're grabbing cookies and cake and things like that, you're feeding the bad guys, not the good guys. So we made sure that there's a little bit of prebiotics, also probiotics, and both of these products are very different, but you can take them together. You can take, so when somebody's, just to give you an idea how many you could take, if somebody's been on an antibiotic, they could take, I used to have them do like, I called it a blitz where you just like taking a ton of product. So they were taking about 10 of these a day until the bottle was gone. And then they would do almost 3 bottles like that to help re-inoculate the intestinal tract. Because every time you're stressed, if you drink alcohol, things you do, you're killing them off. So I was trying to send in a large amount to replace all the ones that have died that you killed off with an antibiotic. Same thing if they put antibiotics in your food. If you have chicken that has antibiotics, you're killing these good guys. And not only are they your first line of defense for immune support, they also make like B vitamins, they make different vitamins. People were going crazy over like a weight loss, small chain fatty acids, like trying to think of butyrate. And they will actually make that. And so when you have enough of what you need, it goes back to cellular level, feeding the body, making sure it's working correctly. So your cells are fed. Really important to have your immune system functioning correctly, which goes back to the gut. And everything we learned about peptides just recently was also going back to the gut. Almost every single doctor said you can go do all these things, but if your gut is not right, you're going to have issues. So I'll kind of throw it back to you because that's a mouthful.
So you're really talking about microbiome,
Yes.
these probiotics. Remember, having enough good
in a variety.
gut, the good guys in your gut. They're also helping create good vitamin B to feed the brain, right? And there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of other things going on out there brain wise. And don't get confused. Can you grab that bottle over here? Our anyone who knows us, our biggest, I don't know, I don't want to say claim to fame, but what we're known for is Flow, which is our full spectrum digestive enzyme and a little bit of stabilized probiotics, just a little maintenance amount. So yes, that's what we eat with our meals. But what Ty was just teaching was all your good gut bacteria, your friendly bacteria that you're eating or taking as well, because we're typically not going to get all of that from the foods that we eat, and certainly not, from a healthy gut health, et cetera, not creating good vitamin B. But now with this boom in peptides, you need, and there's our proteolytic enzymes, huge piece of the puzzle as far as getting everything you can get out of your peptides, whatever type of peptide it is that you're using. And it is really about having your baseline good because these things are amplifying.
Right.
They're signaling. It's like you said, old school phone plug. It's like Wi-Fi within your body, within the network.
That's what peptides do. They send
Right.
it, they take
Peptides
it,
do.
they take it up a notch. They definitely taken up a notch. I do want to go back to these because when Sean mentioned how many, so when he says a maintenance supply is in flow, the digestive enzyme that all of you have taken, this is 1 billion, which sounds crazy, but that's not a ton. That is a maintenance supply. So every time you're taking it in, and the reason we did that is because when you're eating, is a really good time for your
It's
probiotics
mostly an
to
enzyme
also
product.
eat. This is a heavy enzyme product with a maintenance supply of probiotics. There is a difference between an enzyme and a probiotic. An enzyme breaks down your food and then allows you to get the smaller molecules from that macronutrient, protein, carb, fat, breaking it into smaller molecules. So this 1 billion, this is 22.5 billion. And you're taking a ton after antibiotics. For maintenance, you can take 1 to 3 to 6. You want to make sure that your bowel movements look good and correct and that your immune system's staying strong. That's really, really important. So that kind of gives you an idea when you're looking at probiotics, and all of these are shelf stable. I mean, maybe not in Arizona, you wouldn't want to leave them in your car, but they can sit in a dark cabinet very well. Will they live longer in the refrigerator? You could put your bottle in the refrigerator, but it doesn't need to be. It will, so what we'll
Shelf stable,
retest
right?
it. We will retest the ingredients in every capsule 2 years later. And so they have a 2-year shelf life to have the exact same activity in the same amount 2 years later. So that's really, really important. So when I say shelf stable, that's what it means, that it's shelf stable to give you the same amount 2 years from now when it's been sitting in your shelf. That's really important for you to know. I could just keep going on that, but we'll try to move on to the next thing for
Well,
cells and mitochondria.
you want to keep it as simple as you can, right? And
Which that was not simple, but I needed
well, it
you to
wasn't,
know
it
that.
isn't you. Trust me, that was simple compared to what we listened to for 2 days straight
Oh
from
my gosh.
all these doctors.
Yes.
That was not simple.
Do
That was
you want to add anything to those?
overwhelming. No, I mean it's just again, it's your gut health is everything. Everything they said about peptides, all these doctors, they all said the same thing. Everything goes back to the gut. I mean, it's so cool to hear all these people say this. You got to remember 25 years ago when we're doing this, we were still getting laughed at. And so now there was no such thing as gut health as far as most medical doctors were concerned. And so now it's super cool that it's come full circle and everyone's talking about these things, which is fantastic. So we loved hearing all those things and we knew a lot of this stuff, but
It was very,
well,
what I was surprised about more than anything, because this was a doctor driven, like medical doctor, MD. And I'm like way over here on the other side. And I went just to go. And what was surprising is how many things they were saying now that I've been saying forever and ever. So almost I was taken back because I went in thinking, I'm not going to like all these people. I'm going to just sit here and shake my head the whole time. And instead I was like, right on, that's exactly it. And I was like pumped that
yeah,
they were pulling
I
back.
had to drag her there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Usually she's dragging me to these things, but I had to drag because it was all
Was more interested
yeah,
in
and
it
the
than me.
peptides, man. I wanted to know everything because I've never seen anything like this before.
And it was expensive as all get out. So I was like, I don't really need to go to that. But we went and I tried to go to every session. I'll tell you, they were very holistic in their thinking for medical doctors, DOs. There was a variety of people
Well,
there, a lot of nurse
the
practitioners.
hormone conversations
Just going to go into that.
were unbelievable for both
10 minutes of hormone talks.
women and men.
And it was so if you have not checked your hormones, that is the number one thing you need to do. And let me tell you why I never did it, because every book and everything that came out for the last 25 years would say, don't even eat soy. Don't do this. Definitely don't get on hormones. Estrogen causes cancer. I mean, that was it. That was everywhere. All of that has been debunked. And basically, they have done women wrong for 25 years. And I listened to multiple doctors get up and talk about the new research. So if you don't know where your levels are at, it affects your bones, it affects everything. And so
Well,
this
they're
would
the
be your
amplifiers. They're
they
the
what we
Wi-Fi.
used to teach with CBD to help support the
Yeah.
hormones
Yeah.
and the endocrine system, and it's so important, and they control so many things. If your bones are hurting and you're like, man, I'm taking every supplement, I don't know what's going on, I'm not sleeping, that's your progesterone. If your bones are hurting, it's your estrogen, so your estradiol is off. If your sex life is bleh and you're not even motivated to do anything, not just sex, but like motivated to dream and do things and feel like you have more going on in life, then your testosterone's off. And women need all three, men need everything. So you really want to know your levels, then get on a bioidentical. You can try our queen if you're like against doing everything like I was, and you can do more capsules of queen. You can also add in a little bit of king even as a female, because you need the saw palmetto, you need the other things that are in there that are also going to support you, and you can get a little balance and play around with those two products. Then go get your blood tested and find out what your levels are at. And you might have to do both. You might have to do king and queen and get on small dosages. So let me tell you, that will be a game changer for you if you haven't been getting results in your life on any of those categories. So that was really a game changer for me to listen to that. Um, Back to the cells, back to the mitochondria. If you haven't taken, I wasn't going to talk about these tonight, I'm just going to show them to you quick. But Blend M, Blend V. V is for vitamins, M is for minerals. This is what makes crap happen in your body. If you do not have the basic foundations, you are building a house with no foundation. It just won't work. You need specific minerals for hair growth, for everything. And you need it to get your cells to talk and work and have your heart beat correctly and have your muscles work correctly. Super important to have your minerals and have them in the right form. Ours are bound with the amino acid glycine, so the body can make the choice of whether it needs a specific mineral or not. I won't go too much into that, but very important that you get your minerals. When everybody's going and doing all the electrolyte powders and all of that, make sure you're getting your minerals. You can still do some of the electrolyte powders, but most of them are crazy amounts of sodium and normally a bad form of sodium as well. So be sure to look into that. And then vitamins, B vitamins, crazy important for everything. And we get ours from quinoa sprouts. So they're as holistic as you can get for your B vitamins, especially if anybody can't methylate and they have issues with that and detoxing. You really want that product because it's going to be in the most whole food form for you to get your correct B vitamins, vitamin C from amla, really really good stuff. And then those are like your foundational things you need to get stuff working in the body. I know, I just am fired up even though we've been on calls all
I know
day,
you would be fired up. All right.
but I want to do some updates with we have so many things
Yeah, so let
going
me do
on.
some quick updates as well. Mix that in here. We are I think I mentioned this before. We're cleaning up the website. I know we took off like the international country. You had to put your country in immediately, that kind of thing. We're still shipping to all these countries, including I think someone was mentioning Canada. We are using whatever that name is. What's her name? The Landmark.
Landmark
Landmark Worldwide to Canada.
really helps shipping
Um,
times.
so we've been using them now for several months. So if you're in Canada, yes, we'll ship up to Canada. Um, we are changing some basic things. I think a lot of the confusion on our site has been the login, because some people go in and start making a new login and they already had a login,
Yeah,
or they had a customer login or they had an affiliate login.
we're trying to fix all that.
So we're cleaning that up. We're just trying to make a simpler user experience so people like Ty and I could go in there and
Figure it out.
figure it out.
If we can't figure out our own website,
order on our own. So a
but we're
lot,
listening to you. We always
yeah.
listen
So,
to you.
so a lot of those things are being cleaned up. I can't even think of. There's a whole list. I guess I could
There
look.
is a list.
I could look at the list real quick.
So one of the meetings we had today, so this past weekend is when we were at the peptide conference. A meeting we had today was with a large person that has a massive doctor network, and they are going crazy over our droppers in general and the technology and the extraction process. So
I'm gonna yeah,
I definitely want you to
I'll
mention
touch
that
on
too,
that,
because that's
but the
exciting.
countries, I don't know, we're changing a bunch of things. The one-time purchase versus the subscription orders. I think we got to make sure that's more clear so people know. Everyone wants the discount, but sometimes people are getting a subscription they didn't realize they're getting. I don't even know. So we're cleaning that up to make it
Meaning like it was an
clear.
automatic auto ship. So we're going to
Um,
make that clearer and better and to your benefit.
and I want to add this real quick. So as we've mentioned before, we've partnered with a brand. We really believe in them and what they're doing, called Origin, right? And with ORYGN, Origin, and so their original name, and it still is that name. Who knows if it'll change in the future, with the as the industry goes, but it's TriGLP, right? This is the, where am I? Here,
Yep,
there you
camera.
go.
Boom.
There's the Tri-GLP bottle. Okay, super cool. All their marketing, branding, everything is super cool. And they are exploding, all over the world with what you would formerly known as our
Peptide.
peptide dropper. So we mentioned this a little while ago. That's going to be transitioning to the Origin brand because we don't want any confusion out there. Same product, right? And we're doing a lot of education with them. And they have some fabulous people involved all over the world who is taking that. They're doing
They're taking it to a whole new level.
millions and millions of dollars a month,
Amazing.
um, selling that salmon peptide, the Tri-GLP. And so that will be integrated into our site. And so that's where we will be moving our peptide into the Tri-GLP environment. Super cool. It's great. We love it. They're moving up to 190 drops in their bottle. We've always just kind of been the same price wise and all that stuff. So that'll be integrated in. That'll clean up any confusion because we're all in with Origin. We want to continue to help them grow and educate. As you guys know us, we really, really want to continue to educate. So that's a big deal. The dropper environment is exploding. So we've been doing this, as some of you know, a long, long time with the two patents, the extraction. And I just want you to know, like, you guys are sitting on something really, really special. The Origin brand they'll be $1 billion brand with the salmon. And you guys should be a part of that. I mean, there are people sharing that all over the world. They're doing extremely well. If you have questions with that, let me know. Or if someone invited you on here, let them know
Get with them.
because don't miss that one. There's some big waves
The
that come along.
testimonials, oh my gosh, if you want me to put you in the testimonial group so you can start looking and learning,
It's
it
fascinating.
is mind blowing. The testimonials are really, really great.
So we'll start doing more and more with our dropper environment as we have realized, um, all these doctors want the droppers now. I mean, it's really a really cool delivery system, and you guys have your hands on it.
For many
Um,
reasons. People don't want to do
speak,
needles or
Speaking
they
of groups,
want it to absorb
Ginger's
fast.
been helping us doing a fabulous job, um,
Amazing.
with affiliates, people who want to get involved with us as an affiliate. And so what I was going to do before I forget, speaking of groups, if you go to the Facebook group, um, for the affiliates that we're starting to use more. We don't use it a lot. We really need to because that's where there's a testimonial group over there, but the affiliate groups, you guys need to know what's going on. And so the culture shift on Facebook, some of you are in there, some of you have forgotten you're in there, but you should go in there. And if you go in there right now and you type in under comments, just put 100, 100, put 100, even though we're going to end up raffling off. We're going to give you guys more than that. I think the flyer or graphic thing said, no, you got me saying flyer, $100 supplement giveaway. We'll give you guys more. You know, we're givers. We'll give way more than that. So go in there and we're only going to take the people right now
That are on this.
that are on this Zoom that put 100 in there, and then we'll do the little spin the wheel deal. And it's called the culture shift.
And I'll approve you if for some
this is
reason it doesn't
the,
let you in.
oh man, I don't know if
If
you
you're
can
not
even
a
see
fan.
that, but that's what it looks like.
Yep, the culture
The
shift.
Culture Shift on Facebook. If you're not in there, add yourself or whatever, and then go into comments, put 100, put 100, so we can
Know who was on
know who was
this.
on here, and we'll do some little raffles with the little wheel or something, and
Yes.
we'll send a bunch of free products you guys for jumping in here. Why? Because we like to reward people who want to engage and want to be educated. So
Do you
you
want
can,
them to put the 100 under the flyer?
yeah, right under the flyer.
So in
I'm
the
sorry,
last post, just comment.
this one right here.
Yep. So
You,
underneath that, just comment 100 and we'll know and we'll see your name.
and
Love it.
Ty can
Yep.
add you
I
if you need
you
to be
live on
added.
Facebook, so
I do not.
I'll see you and bring you
Eileen
in.
does.
I know.
But we'll give some product away for you guys for
Okay,
that.
what are
But
we missing?
so you'll see a bunch of changes on the site. You'll see the weekly pay. There it had some bugs
Weekly pay.
because
We've been working
we're
on getting that for
trying to pay you
you.
guys every week.
And it's because a lot of people
Um,
want to do this full time and we want to be able
there's people trying to get in that group, so make sure you let them
to
in.
pay you.
So that'll be. We thought we'd already be doing it, but there's a couple little bugs in there, so just look for that to happen. I mean, a lot of you use your money for product. That's fine too. Whatever you want to do. So just make sure you use your e-wallet. You have to request to get paid or use your e-wallet to buy your products with. I just man, I don't want to sound weird, but these salmon drops are a big deal. And message me on this Try GLP or message whoever invited you on here, because when I say they're doing millions, when I say they will be $1 billion brand, they're going to hit that. They're growing that fast. And you guys who knew all about this product before it ever even existed as Try GLP, you should be a part of that. And they're winning over there. There are people winning in a big way. And it is such a cool, safe alternative to a lot of the people that are doing these injections. And I'm not judging the injections. There's a time and a place, in my opinion.
Yes.
And that's rare for me to
We
say.
learned that more than ever at the conference.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people don't want to do that. They would much rather have drops, not shots. So get into it. Don't get left behind on that whole
Before we
thing.
like totally leave out, there's been lots of comments, but I can't read any of them without my glasses, and they've been popping up fast. I want to make sure. Let's
All
go
right.
through and answer any questions or
They're
comments
saying, tell Tylene
that she's amazing.
that she
That was-
needs to add me to the group. No, let's see. Hold on.
I can see a little better.
I like you with the glasses.
Yeah, I look
That's
smarter.
That's a new look. Yeah, that's a new look for you. It's super cool.
These are my denial glasses. I think my mom, I stole these from my mom.
Yes, Michelle, Origin brought you to us. That's cool. I mean, that's Donna. Yeah, we're fixing the auto ship.
Yes. We listened to you.
Let's see.
Blend V, plant-based.
Yep, shipped to Canada. Got it.
Making sure we're not missing anything. Okay, shellfish, corn, things that you're allergic to. So that would be flow.
Yep.
When you're allergic to a lot of those things. Yep.
Taking one flow before meals.
You may even need two, depending on certain meals in the beginning.
Oh, for a net. Yeah, you can take more.
You can definitely take more. Especially if you eat something naughty.
And by the way, can I tell them about flow will soon be in darker bottles? We're shifting back. Over the years, we go back and forth between dark bottles, white bottles.
So yeah, they'll be soon in dark bottles.
Yeah, soon they'll be dark,
but didn't happen.
Just so you guys know.
Manufacturing.
Yeah, I don't want to keep everyone too long. It's been like 40 minutes.
No.
But the droppers, don't shy away from the droppers, you guys. It's just a unique thing. And nitric oxide, they spoke so much about nitric oxide in the doctors did for peptides. The beet drops are threefold, right? It's creating nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is created in your saliva. So pre-workout, heart health, and blood flow is sexual health. So do the beet drops. Don't be afraid of the beet drops. There's a lot going on when it comes to the beet drops. Those are super cool. I do them before I play pickleball as well. Our We're still crushing it. Where you see all these weird CBD companies that have gone away. Ours grows. We grow every month. Our CBD dropper, our whole flower, whole plant fluid grows every month. And so the lion's mane dropper, I mean, so many droppers. We're going to really do a lot with droppers in July.